Today we're going to do an instructional video on Matsui's foaming puff additive binder. Now the foaming binder is essentially a puff additive but for water-based inks. It works a little bit differently than most plastisol puff additives. So we went to our knowledge base right here and we simply searched foaming binder. We clicked on the link and this allows us to download the PDF product detailed sheet. Once we've downloaded that sheet, that's going to give us instructions on how we're going to use it in this video. First step is to mix the ink. Today we're going to mix the foaming binder 50-50 with our stretch white. Now the stretch white is a nice opaque white that's printed through a low mesh, like a 156 or below. So we're going to mix that 50-50 with a foaming binder to create a puff white. So I'm going to zero my scale out. Now that I have my scale zeroed out, I'm going to put in 85 grams of the white, and then we're going to do another 85 grams of the undercoat binder. Now the undercoat binder you can see is not quite as thick as the white. You can actually pour it. We're going 50-50 ratio. So this is one application. We'll show another application as well. Once that's in the container, we simply mix up. We can also mix in color by adding 10% pigment per volume. If you want a higher color concentrate, you can actually go up to 20% directly into the foaming binder with water-based pigment. To print this, we're using a 110 mesh screen. We want to get a lot of ink through. We're going to flood the screen, and then we're going to print flash print at least 3 times to really get a good puff built up. You always want to make sure that you flood the screen when you're not printing with it. Now if we're going on a dark garment, we would actually use an underbase before we use the puff. We're using the Riley Hopkins Airflow Flash Dryer to ensure that we do a nice flash on a water-based ink with enough airflow to properly dry it. Next pass. And flash. Your flash length needs to be long enough so that no ink is coming up on your finger, but it's still slightly tacky. Final coat. Now at a 50-50 ratio, we see a little puff happening right now, but basically what we're getting is essentially a slightly raised ink that looks a lot like high density. So that's what happens at 50-50. Now let's print the ink that has the 80% foaming binder and 20% pigment in it. All right, so we're doing it the same way. We're going to flood, and then we'll just lay one layer down. We'll flash. Layer 2. And this is our third pass. Now we'll go to cure. And this is after it comes out of the dryer. Now, in order for this foaming binder to really react, you definitely have to have airflow, and it has to be under heat for about 2 minutes. We did not see any reaction on this white until it was actually under heat. So now we have a very nice ink buildup right here. This would be great for children's apparel. This would be great for any type of eco-friendly application that you want a puff type of look or feel. Feels nice and soft still because it's a water base, and it will be very durable as long as you're following the directions and curing properly. Now we're doing print flash print on a black garment. Pass 1, pass 2, I'm probably going to go 3 passes just for opacity purposes. Now, the third pass, we're doing this because we could have used like a white underbase and just the overprint, but we're going to use the actual puff as the the underbase. Okay, the red, we're doing a print flash as well. Second print. So here are results with the Matsui foaming binder. This is 4 passes on both. At the top you can see how much more this is puffed. This is 2 passes and this is 3 passes. So depending on your application, whether it's children's wear, or any other type of eco-friendly style that you're going after with a nice water-based puff, this is a great solution to doing special effects with water-based ink.